The actor. Thespis was the first known actor from ancient Greece, and it is from his name we take the word thespian, which means actor. Two notions of acting are representational and presentational. They are the same as the two modes of performance from Lesson 1. Presentational or external acting is something the actor presents to the audience. The actor determines how the character will walk, talk, behave, and then he imitates this characterization. The actor learns to present a role through training that might include singing, dancing, fencing, juggling, etc. Representational acting is acting that emanates from inside the actor, such that the actor feels the role from the inside out, feeling the emotion of the character. They are said to live the life of the character, and in the United States, this internal notion of acting is often called method acting. In Lesson 1, we were talking about the modes of performance in theater, the presentational mode, which is like stand-up comedy, and the representational mode. And we discussed the fact that theatrical performance is always both presentational and representational, in that we as an audience are always aware that we are watching actors perform characters. Just so, the best acting synthesizes both presentational and representational modes of acting. All acting is both internal and external, from the head and from the heart. Konstantin Stanislavski was the director of the Moscow Arts Theater in the 1800s. He was the first theater artist to advance the concept of representational acting. He said, "You must live the life of the character on stage." Stanislavski was deeply obsessed with actors' emotion. He initially invented an acting technique that he called emotional memory or emotional recall, in which the actor would mentally substitute past personal emotional experiences to reach the emotional level dramatically required on stage. For instance, if the character in the role you are playing is supposed to cry real tears on stage, you would think about something from your own personal life to induce those tears, maybe the death of a pet or the end of a romantic relationship, and then use that emotional recall to cry on stage. But emotional memory recall did not remain central to Stanislavski's acting system for very long because he recognized the necessity for control in performance. If you dredged up the memory of a failed relationship, you may be such a basket case that you couldn't control your breakdown to continue with the play. He said, "Feeling does not replace an immense amount of work on the part of our intellects." So he began the presentational study of acting, elocution, the study of the voice, dance, phrasing, just as passionately as he studied emotional recall. And by the middle of his career, he had discarded emotional memory in favor of physical action as the key to stimulating truthful acting. He began to even reproach his actors for excessive wallowing in private emotion. No other country has been as influenced by Stanislavski's teaching as the United States. In 1919, two of his students immigrated to New York and founded the American Laboratory Theater. Later, Lee Strasberg converted to the Stanislavski teachings and began the group theater, and then became director of the Actors Studio, which was founded in 1951. Lee Strasberg developed method acting based on Stanislavski's acting style. Strasberg developed this style derived from Stanislavski's early teachings, incorporating emotional recall as a principal acting element. Method acting became the standard actor training technique in America in the 1950s. Other American acting teachers, for instance, Stella Adler, Sonia Moore, preached the later Stanislavski emphasis on physical action. Today, the acting program at the Actors Studio and at most colleges and universities offer acting studies incorporating both presentational and representational techniques. Traditionally, the training of an actor has concentrated on dramatic technique. To hone this technique, an actor must train first his voice and then his body. These are the tools of the actor. Becoming an actor. An actor trains first his instrument, and then he approaches the method. The actor's instrument is his or her self. The training of this instrument is both psychological and physiological. Physiologically, the actor must train his voice, his speech, and his movement. Psychologically, the actor must develop and liberate his imagination, and then he must discipline himself in his art. The potential of the acting voice as an instrument of great theater is immense. Many of our modern actors, Patrick Stewart, James Earl Jones, Anthony Hopkins, Meryl Streep, Glenn Close, Maggie Smith, Judi Dench, are celebrated for their distinctive use of their voice. Secondly, in physicality, is movement. The beginning actor is often recognized by uncontrolled behaviors, fidgeting, shuffling, aimlessly moving about the stage. The actor's use of his or her body is the other element of fundamental technique. The best actors are strong and supple, capable of great physical self-mastery. Then comes psychological training, the freeing of the imagination, and along with that freeing, discipline. The successful actor must be able to imagine him or herself performing and often relishing the most unspeakable acts of his characters, who might be murderers, bigots, atheists, perverts, prudes, whatever. The liberation of the imagination is a continuous process in actor training. Then there is discipline. Imagination and discipline must work hand in hand. The actor's discipline keeps him within the bounds. The actor is not an independent artist, but a collaborative artist, a part of an ensemble or a company. Therefore, they must show up on time, know their lines, collaborate with the other actors, directors, designers, etc. This all takes discipline.